At the northwestern foot of Mount Fuji, on the Yamanashi side, lies the primeval forest of Aokigahara Jukai, spreading across 30 square kilometers. Within this sea of trees, there is an artificial structure. When it was built, by whom, and for what purpose? We explored the mystery. The structure is located near the Sekirui Iriguchi bus stop on National Route 139 in Aokigahara Jukai, just off the Tokai Nature Trail. We are guided by Yuki Sugimoto, a curator in charge of cultural properties at the Fujikawaguchiko Town Board of Education. You will be able to see the structure when you follow a sign marked Sekirui into the depths of the forest. Something that looks like piled up stones. This is the Sekirui. Near the national highway, it has been destroyed, but if you continue tracing the stonework deeper into the forest, it rises to as much as 180 centimeters in height. This stone rampart is an astonishing 2-kilometer long, built in a sweeping arc. Though covered in moss, the material of the rampart is lava that flowed from Mount Fuji and then hardened. It was skillfully structured by piling up this lava rock. If you look closely, one side of the rampart is stacked in an almost vertical form. By contrast, the opposite side has a slight slope. It is thought that the nearly vertical side was the side facing the thread, which was meant to be repelled. That would be the outer side of the rampart arranged in an arc. So then, when was this stone rampart built? Who built it? And what was it built to defend against for? No clear answer has yet been found. According to curator Sugimoto, there are 3 theories. First theory: a defensive facility from the Sengoku period. Even today, the area called Motosu lies on the border with Shizuoka Prefecture, and from long ago, it was an important point marking the boundary between Suruga and Kai. Inside the arc-shaped stone rampart was the Motosu settlement. For that reason, one idea is that it was built to defend this settlement, a key point on the road from invasion coming from Suruga. Second theory: an Edo period shishigaki to prevent damage from wild animals. Because cultivated land was formed in a way that surrounded the settlement, another idea is that it was meant to protect crops from the wild animals living in the Jukai. Third theory: a protective wall to shield the settlement from lava flows. In 864, during the Heian period, Mount Fuji erupted, producing the Aokigahara lava flow. Another idea is that the wall was built so that, if a lava flow on the same scale were to occur again, the settlement would not be swallowed up. However, it is said that none of these theories are conclusive. Why theory first, a defensive facility from the Sengoku period, is not decisive. If it were a defensive facility meant to protect a roadside settlement, this stone rampart does not connect to the old road used at the time, the Nakamichi Okan. There is also a mountain castle nearby called Motosu no Shiroyama, but the rampart is far from it and no sense of connection can be felt. Furthermore, the way the stones are stacked is different. Stone ramparts related to Nakamichi Okan are built very carefully, almost like brickwork, but this rampart is stacked in a very simpler manner. Because of this, its purpose may have different from that of the castle ramparts at Shiroyama. Why theory second, an Edo period shishigaki to prevent damage from wild animals is not decisive. There are examples of shishigaki elsewhere in Yamanashi Prefecture, but no old document records the construction of something this impressive. If it had been built in the Edo period, it should have remained in local tradition. However, this stone rampart had been forgotten even by local people until it was discovered in 1987, so it may date from a period older than the Edo era. Why theory third, a protective wall against lava flows, is not decisive. The Aokigahara lava flow is 5 to 10 meters thick, so if a lava flow of a similar scale is assumed, a wall less than 2 meters high would likely not be enough to stop it. So in the end, none of the theories is decisive. This stone rampart has remained shrouded in mystery to this day. But there is one more mystery. The stone rampart is arranged in an arc, but there's a place which has a crank shape. Because this crank-like form resembles the wall surrounding a Sengoku period fort, it is sometimes cited as evidence that this was a defensive facility from the Sengoku era. However, just because it has a crank shape does not necessarily mean it was modeled after a castle wall. Since this is such a massive structure, it is possible that the group building from the east and the group building from the west failed to meet precisely at the same point. In that case, the misaligned sections may simply have been connected to making them fit together. Another possible reason is that the spot is depressing in the terrain, so it may have been necessary to bend the rampart to match the landscape. This is a difficult point on which no firm conclusion can be made. This stone rampart still contains unanswered mysteries. It can be viewed along the Tokai Nature Trail. Please note that Aokigahara Jukai is a national natural monument, so it is prohibited to leave the trail and enter the forest.